Hey guys, it's Emma and today I'm going to be reviewing Heir of Fire by Sarah J Maas. As always, this review is going to begin with a spoiler-free review and then I'll go into more spoiler details, etc. afterwards. But keep in mind that this is the third book in the Throne of Glass series, so if you haven't read Throne of Glass or Crown of Midnight, then you might be spoiled. You probably will be spoiled in the non-spoilery section. So if you haven't read those books, I will leave a link in the description below to my blog reviews, which are full non-spoiler reviews, and then my video reviews for both of them, which are structured like this one, so you should definitely go and check those out first. Well, I loved this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and it has a 4.63 average rating, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that. It could be 0.65 or whatever, but it's 0.6 something, which is really high. It's even higher than Crown of Midnight, but keeping in mind that it has less ratings and whatever. But yeah, that's still an incredibly high rating. So if that doesn't convince you to read the book, then I don't know what I can say that will. The plot of this book is a lot slower in the beginning than the first two books. It did take me quite a long time to get through the first half of the book, but the last 100 pages are incredible. It really takes the book up to a new level. I was thinking of giving it a 4-star rating the whole time until I got to the last 100 pages that is so jam-packed with really awesome stuff that I couldn't just give it a 4. It had to be a 5. If I could give it a higher rating, I would, just because those last 100 pages are just so perfect. So if you are struggling to get through it, keep going. It does get better. The end is perfect. You will love it at the end. Just make sure you push through, and yeah, that's all you got to do. You just got to push through to the last 100 pages and it's just so much better from there on out. Heir of Fire follows Selena as she's in Wendelin trying to figure out more information about the word keys and about her magic and what happened to magic and all that jazz. And it also features Kale and Dorian and Aiden, Selena's or Aileen's cousin, back in Airily in the castle as well. So it has dual perspectives again. I really like Aiden as a character. I think he brings a lot to the table. I like how Kale's allegiance is questioned, and that is not a spoiler because obviously he loves Selena, and we know that from the end of Crown of Midnight that he still loves her and he still wants her to be okay and he wants her to survive, but he's the captain of the King's Guard. So obviously him knowing that Selena is the lost queen that could potentially ruin his king's rule, obviously his allegiance is going to be questioned. So this book really features a lot of that, and we do figure out where his allegiance lies, which is really exciting, but you have to get through the majority of the book before you figure that out. We also learn a lot more about the magic of the world in this book. We learn about Dorian's magic a bit more and more about Selena's magic and what's going on with her fae business, and she kind of learns to control that and use it a lot more in this book. So there's just a lot more of information in this book. So while it is slow, you do get told a lot of information that is going to be very, very important later on in this series. But yeah, overall, love this book. Definitely think it adds to the story. Really liked it. Really looking forward to what happens next in the next book. So that's all for the non-spoilery section. If you haven't read the book, go away from this video and read it and then come back and watch the spoiler section. I love Rowan. He's a new character in this book and I absolutely loved him. Right from the beginning, even when he was acting like an asshole to Selena and she was trying to figure out what was going on with him, I loved him even then from the very start. He's just super cool, super loyal, even though he's tied to Maeve with that bond, but still, you could tell that he cared for Selena and everything that she stood for, even when he was being really sour towards her. But yeah, I really love him, and I love the bond that the two have together. I love how they're really close friends, but they're not lovers. There's nothing romantic between them at all. They're like best friends. They're like siblings, sort of, in a way. They're just really close, really connected, and I love that. I love how there's a guy and a girl who are just really good friends, but there's nothing romantic between them at all. I think that was a really fresh touch to the book that I really enjoyed. I loved how Selena's magic manifested through fire. I think that that really suits her personality because she's such a fiery person, and she's just, fire really suits her. It really kind of sums up her personality. But I also really love how she has a tiny little drop of water magic in her that is for healing that she got from her mother. I think that that is also really true of Selena. While she is really fiery and really feisty all the time, she has a really kind soul and she really cares about people. So I think that it was really great how she has a little tiny bit of water magic that kind of balances her out a little bit, which means that I loved the ending, that part where she summons the droplet of water up from the lake, I think it is, when she's with Rowan. I loved that. I thought it was such a nice touch and it was such a beautiful moment. In this book we find out that Selena is so incredibly powerful, that her magic is so strong. We don't even know how strong yet. We don't know what her limits are and what she can and can't do with her magic. But I loved how Selena was already a super cool female heroine. She was already killing people. She was already standing up for herself and fighting her own fights and all that jazz. She was already 10 steps ahead of me as a person, but now she's about 50 steps ahead of me and every single other person in these books because of her magic. It's so powerful and I love that about her. I love how she has all this magic, and I love how she's so concerned with saving innocent people and saving the slaves and things like that. So she just has a really kind soul. So it's nice and refreshing to see someone with so much power wanting to use it for good instead of evil. I really like how Kale and Aiden, that's how I've said his name, again not sure how to pronounce it, but I love how they have been working together this whole book. I really like it. I think it was really nice of Kale to stand up for Selena, and I love the ending where, or not really the ending, but that part in the ending where he stands up to the king and he says, "No, you're not the king, your son's the king. He's the only one here who's acting like a real king, and he's who I support, and he's where my loyalty lies." I think that that was a really nice touch, and I think that it really suited Kale's character, but which leads me to Dorian being collared by the dark power of the word keys that the king is using. Oh, that broke my heart. Poor Dorian. I feel so sorry for him. Like when Selena comes back from Wendelin, which she is doing right now, in between now and the next book, that's what her journey is going to be. When she comes back, she's going to find him like that, and I'm scared of what he's going to do to her or what she's going to have to do to him. Maybe she'll have to kill him. Maybe he'll try and kill her, and oh, just so complex, and I really don't like it. Obviously, it makes for a really good book. I just, oh, poor Dorian. Like, I can't even explain how upsetting that was to me. I just thought it was so evil. It made me hate the king even more. Dorian is so concerned with being a better king that he won't run away because he doesn't want Holland to be the king, because we all know that Holland is a dickhead. He's like 11 years old and everyone already hates him. That's how annoying he is. And I'm so glad that he hasn't been a character so far in this series, because he would just be so annoying and just such a spoilt brat. So that's all for this review. If you've read Heir of Fire, let me know what you thought about it in the comments. If you agree, disagree with anything that I've said, let me know in the comments or tweet to me. The link to my Twitter is in the description below. Make sure you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!